daughter starts to display signs of possession, like she's being possessed by a ghost or a spirit. So the mother is not able to find help because it's lockdown and she can't go out and she can't have other people visit the house as well. So during such a situation, the whole thing gets worse, and they approach a priest in Mumbai who suggests doing an exorcism. An exorcism ritual is where it's a ritual where they try to cure people of their possession and get rid of the ghost. So the exorcism in Bombay, he is not able to come to Chennai. So what he suggests is, we'll do an exorcism through a Zoom call. So whether they're able to achieve the exorcism ritual through the Zoom call, or was the mother able to save the daughter, is what the story is about.
Anupam Kher character.
Anupam Kher sir plays the exorcist. He is the priest who comes to help the family during this crisis. And according to the story, the priest is from Mumbai. So while casting, we decided, why don't we go for some actor who's in Mumbai, who has a presence in the north, so that even in story it's very believable. Usually they'll cast somebody and then they'll try to make it believe like he is from Mumbai. So we wanted to work with an actor who's from Mumbai so that it is very believable. And he's also a veteran actor. He's so he has done so many films. This is his
first movie.
I think he has done one film before called Little John. I think it came like 10-20 years ago. I think it came. So after a long time he's coming back to Tamil, and this will be his 522nd film. So it was very special working with him for this particular project.
It has no interval, no?
Yeah.
Why did you take the decision?
I generally like intermission, because when I go to certain films, the intermission itself is like a proper cinematic moment. Like, it's a high point where audience are left with a question and the answer is given in the second half. So I enjoy such films. I also enjoy films which doesn't have any interruption. For example, if you watch a lot of Hollywood films, there's no intermission. So when you're watching it in the theater, they'll just cut it on random point. And most of the time, you'll be a little disappointed that they cut, because you're watching, the film is getting interesting, and suddenly they cut the film and there's a gap. So the momentum is lost. So in this particular story, there is no midpoint. The entire film is moving towards the climax. So if you watch it at a single stretch, the experience itself is very intense. So when I showed the film to the production, I showed it to them without an intermission. They watched it in a single stretch. And since it's 90 minutes, it's easier to watch it at a stretch, because a lot of films that worked in this year were 3 hours long. And those films had the intermission only by the end of 90th minute or 85th minute. So I thought we have the tolerance to watch a proper 90-minute film without any breaks. And we experienced the film like that, so we want to share that experience with the audience.
So do you think how people adapt that version?
I've seen my mother, when she watches certain films, when I go and talk to her, she'll say, don't disturb me, I'm watching it. And until that film finishes, she'll not want to be disturbed and she will not do anything else. I also I like watching all kinds of films, and there are certain films that I would like to experience without any interruption, like from start to end, just watch it like that. And that gives I feel it gives a very intense experience, and by the time the film ends, you're left with a high. We just wanted to try it out as an experimental thing and see if audience like it. If audience like it, then a lot of films with this duration can come out without an intermission. And the advantage is, you don't have to have only 4 shows per day. You can have like 6 shows or 7 shows per day, which will lead to more revenue. And films with short duration will have a much bigger business model when it comes to theatrical release. So I think this can open up a business model. But we are trying it as an experiment. The theatre owners, we had a conversation with the theatre owners. They are also interested to see how this goes. If it works out, we can also exploit this by having more shows. So it is something that we want to try and see if it will be new for the audience. It is designed as an experience more than anything else. The business comes later. What is more important to us is the audience have a new experience in theatres. They are coming to cinema to watch something new. So we just wanted to experiment with the treatment and the way audience experience this film. So it's just a small initiative from our side.
So what is the total duration of the film?
The film is 99 minutes long, with all the end credits, and exact duration is 98.5. It's 99 minutes.
What is the importance of background music?
This film is designed to be a proper theatrical experience with respect to sound and music, and if you watch it on a phone or on TV, it's not the same. You have to watch it in theater for you to enjoy the film to the fullest. And the music for this film is composed by a music director called Prithvi Chandrasekhar, and his previous film was Bhumika with Aishwarya Rajesh. So he has done a very good job, and this film we spent close to 3 months just on the sound design and sound mix, so that the audience will be able to experience we have done an Atmos mix for this film. So we wanted, because we have, the theatres have come out better and bigger now. After the lockdown, a lot of theatres have renovated and they are looking and sounding better. So we are making full advantage of the latest technology to ensure that the audience have a very good experience while watching the film.
Coming to the any songs in
One song is there in the film. One song. The film starts off with a song.
coming to the Nayanthara, so you did it to Maya in 2015. So now, how is it working in this gap? 2015?
I always respect her as an actor, and that is the reason why I wanted to work with her in Maya. And the film was also successful. So naturally, we had a relationship, we had a work relationship where we both respected and trusted each other. So for this film, she really liked the script, so she also wanted to come in as a production partner. So Nayanthara ma'am and Vigneshavan sir produced this film together under Rowdy Pictures. So even in this film, I feel the relationship and the collaboration was better in this film because she's also the producer. So she gave me the space and time that I needed to make this film. She was very particular about the standards. She wanted this film to look and sound like an international film. So there was a lot of resources and a lot of space that was given to me by the production to make sure that I make the best film possible.
For making this film, did you take any advice from Vigneshavan?
I narrated the script to him, and he really liked the script. That was the first meeting I had with him. The second meeting was when we finished the film and we showed the film to them. During the shoot, he was not there. He just said, "You do whatever you wanted to do." As a filmmaker, he understood that I need to go out and make my own film, because he as a filmmaker himself would know the importance of giving that space to another filmmaker. So he came back only after the film was finished. He saw the finished film. So in the remaining the middle 8 months, I had complete control over the film, and I had the freedom and the space to try out whatever I wanted to try.
The whole story runs in a house now.
Yeah.
How could you keep engaged people in that small space?
When a horror film happens in a familiar environment, a familiar environment being house, we all spend most of our time at house, and that is our safe space. So when horror happens there, it's much more scary than if it happens in a graveyard or in a forest, because home is where you feel connected to the most. So this particular film, if you take a lot of classic horror films like Conjuring and Exorcist and a lot of films, all the films happen in a house, because that is where a family is supposed to feel safe. And when you introduce a horror element into it, it immediately becomes a connection point for the audience. We tried a lot of interesting techniques to make the film engaging for the audience from starting to end, because all these characters are from different places. So there will be around 4 different places, 5 different places in the film, and they're all connected through video calls. So it's not just one house. The other characters will be living in other places, and every one of them will be connected through video calls. And the way the shots are designed is in such a way that when you watch the film, you don't know what is going to come from where. You're always like waiting, or you're always anxious that something is about to happen. So we are trying to make it as suspenseful as possible for the audience. So when they're watching it, they're constantly sitting at the edge of their seat and waiting for something to happen. That is how we have tried to design the entire film.
Are you believe God and ghost concept?
When people ask me, have you seen ghosts and all that, I always tell them ghost or God is something that you feel inside, feel from within. It is not something you can see or hear, at least from my experience. I always feel like when you go to an abandoned house, or when you go to a unknown place that you have not gone before, forest or anything, you're walking there and you're feeling something. It's very hard to explain that feeling. You feel like, there is something, we are not alone, like there is somebody else with us, but you won't be able to explain it. It's something that you feel, it's something that, it's like the hair on the back of your neck standing up, that kind of feeling. I've had that feeling lots of times because I'm very scared of darkness. Right from my childhood, if I get up in the middle of the night for water, I'll be very scared to go to the fridge and take water because I'm scared of going into the dark room. Even though I live in that house, during night I'm feeling scared to go. So whenever I visit a new place or go to an unfamiliar place, I always have these emotions and instinct inside me. So I think that is what I try to take inspiration from for my horror films.
This is your fourth horror film.
Third horror film.
You did all genres like that, horror
Yeah,
films,
yeah.
Maya,
Yeah.
Game Over.
Yeah.
So you like it?
Yeah, I like horror genre a lot, and I feel that we have a demand for good horror films in India because there aren't a lot of filmmakers who make authentic horror films. For example, there was a Telugu film recently called Masuda, which was like a authentic horror film. I've not seen the film because of my work. I'm planning to watch the film, but I heard that it is like a proper horror film without any commercial compromises. It's like a proper horror film from start to finish. So I think there is a very good market for such films in India because when Hollywood films like Conjuring and all those films release here, they do extremely well. Irrespective of the language or culture, everybody connects with it, everybody watches those films. So I feel like we have a huge demand for such films in India.
Are you interested to do films with Telugu heroes?
Oh, definitely, because I really look up to a lot of actors and directors here, and I constantly try to watch Telugu films because since I don't understand Telugu, if it releases in Chennai, I'll wait and see if it has subtitles. So I saw recently Ante Sundariniki, I saw with subtitles. I really liked the film. Okay, Jeevidam, I saw that film. I saw Sita, I saw that film. Triple R, obviously, I saw the film, and these films are very inspiring for me because they are also constantly trying to push the boundary, and even in the mainstream circle, they are trying to do something different. So even in Tamil, we are trying and attempting that. So I think Tamil and Telugu are Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam. I feel the South Indian industries are becoming very healthy now in trying out different films and all that. I hope that actors from Telugu work with Tamil filmmakers. Actors from Tamil, they're already working. They're already making a lot of films. So I think this kind of healthy collaboration should happen. That's what I'm hoping for.
Why Nayanthara for this role? And do you approach any other heroines for that role?
She was the first person I considered for this role because I worked with her before. I know what she's capable of. And this film, she has to play a mother of a teenage girl. Even in Maya, she played the mother of a child. And since she trusts me, it is easy for me to go and approach her, and she's also a very good actor. So I wanted somebody who has the depth in their performance, who can kind of hold the audience's attention for 90 minutes with just performance. Even if she's sitting and talking something, your attention is completely on her. She has that kind of a presence. So I feel as an artist, I really admire her and I respect her work. So that is why I wanted to work with her again.
Releasing in Telugu, Tamil, Hindi?
Tamil and Telugu, it's releasing on December 22nd. Hindi, it's releasing on December 29th.
What about the future films? It's the same genre or you are trying to...
No, I want to do other genres now. I want to try and see other things as well because I had other ideas before also, but what happens is when you make a horror film and it becomes successful, producers don't want to try other things. They want to make more horror films because it's safe. But this film was conceived during the lockdown. If lockdown was not there, I wouldn't have made this film. I got inspired during the lockdown. I wrote the script. Now lockdown got over, but the script was conceived during that period. I still feel even after all the COVID infection is over, I still feel there is so much of emotion and there's so much of loss that we need to process. And I think this film, what it's trying to do is to give hope to people that and kind of assure them that we have crossed a very big crisis, but we have come out better, and we'll have a better future. So I want this film to give hope to a lot of people. So that is the main intention behind making this film.
Tamil and Kannada directors are coming to Telugu, Telugu directors are coming to Kannada, Tamil. So what's your opinion about this?
I think all the filmmaker from every state should work with other language actors and producers and all that. See, that kind of collaboration is very healthy, because these are all very unique voices. So when somebody from Tamil goes to Telugu, they'll take their sensibilities, they'll take their voice and their style and everything, and it will be very fresh for the Telugu audience. And when somebody from Telugu comes and makes a Tamil film, their voice will be so unique that it will be fresh for Tamil audience. So it is actually a win-win situation for both the audience and also for the director and also for the producer. So and also the industry becomes bigger. So anybody should be able to work with. So the thing, I think even before lockdown, this thing was slowly going away. So in India, I think earlier there was Bollywood, Collywood, Tollywood, and now it's all like everybody is working everywhere. So now the respect for talent and the demand for talent is very high, because the demand for content is also very high. So people want to see good films, people want to see good stories. So I feel if you have a good story, you can take it to any producer in any language and you will be able to make the film. Earlier it never used to be like that. Now you can approach anybody in India and they'll, if they really like the script, they'll do it. The language is not an issue anymore. So I feel right now I'm very fortunate to work in a situation like this, where there are so many options in front of me to go and make my film.
Who's your family like?
I had a very interesting meeting with Nani Garu when I came to narrate Mayuri to him during 2013. I met him almost like 9 years ago. Usually when I meet actors and narrate the script, they don't react much. They'll just listen to it and they'll say it's good or bad. When he was listening to the script, he was actually reacting to me. He doesn't know me. I've never met him before, or he has not met me before. He doesn't know me. I don't know. I have not met him before. He was so nice to me. He listened to the narration, and he was emotional, and he said, if you did not have a producer, I'll produce this film. He even offered to produce this film, and I had a wonderful meeting with him. And also specifically the kind of films that he does in Telugu, I'm a huge fan of his work. He is somebody I feel is constantly trying to experiment and try different things. So he is an actor that I really want to work with.
You have any script for him next?
What happens is, for me to approach him, I want to write such a good story that it will justify his talent. So even for this film, when we approached Anupam Kher sir, I was very hesitant, because he has done so many films. Like I should give him something that he has not done before, and also I should give him something that justifies his talent. For Nani Garu, I want to pitch him a story that kind of justifies his talent as an actor. So, but I definitely want to work with him.